Hello and welcome to this TitanHQ webinar. Thank you for joining us here today. We'll be getting started in just a couple of minutes.
Hello, and fantastic to see so many of you from around the world on our short webinar today. So Steve and I want to show you SafeTitan's newly relaunched MSP platform that we believe will help transform how you can sell and manage security awareness training for your customers. So this is applicable for existing MSPs of ours and any MSPs out there that are not currently offering security awareness training as part of their portfolio. Before we kick off, let's just do a couple of very quick intros. First, I'm Nick Wilding. I'm one of the lead SafeTitan security awareness advisors and consultants. I've been in the security industry for about 20 years now, and for the last 10 have been working, focused on working with companies around the world, small, medium, and enterprise organizations, on guiding and advising them on how to change behaviors, security behaviors across their workforce. And that's work has been done with end user clients, but also working with channel partners as well. So I've got a very wide experience and understanding of the challenges and the opportunities that are open to us all. Over to you, Stephen, for your short intro.
Thanks a million, Nick. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are in the world. It's lovely to meet you all. I can't tell you how excited we are to show you the latest release from TitanHQ, which is the MSP for SafeTitan customers. I founded the business in 2016. We were acquired in January of this year by Titan. And, we've been going from strength to strength. We've listened intently to the market. We know the pain points that you've had. Nick will go through those pain points today, and then I can't wait to show you the platform. It's a game changer, and it's going to radicalize actually how MSPs can deliver security awareness to their clients and do so with cost savings, but be highly effective at the same time. We want to make security affordable for the SME. We want to make it accessible for mid-market companies. It's not just an enterprise play. And, we can't wait to show you this. We're super excited. And, back to you, Nick.
Thanks, Stephen. So as Stephen said, before he shows a demo of the site, a little bit of background first of all. So I have to say that the new platform is very much designed for you, but also by you critically. Over the last 6 months, we've been talking with the whole MSP marketplace, both through our MSP advisory group, and listening to a large number of MSPs on innovation calls to hear how you to understand how we can help you make your job easier and more effective in selling and managing security awareness training. It's been great to better understand the requirements, and that's obviously been the basis of the key developments that we're going to present to you today. And this work will continue into the future as well. So we'll keep those lines of communication open with you as we continue to develop and enhance the platform. It's clear that firms continue to struggle to educate their employees and to drive behavior change across the workforce. Time and time again, we have conversations with organizations that are either not doing any sort of training or are just relying on sending out some slides at the beginning of every year. And it's just not effective, and it just provides very little return on investment. But times are changing, and we are seeing some significant developments in the marketplace and the demands of the organizations. And that's both from the organizations themselves, but from other players in a minute. More of that in a minute. So to exploit this opportunity, and based on everything that we've learned from the discussions we've had with MSPs in the past, we know you want 3 critical things. You want a platform that is low to administer, low in terms of time and effort to administer. Can we go back a slide? Thanks. We need a platform that's simple and easy for you to use, and ultimately we need a platform that gives you very low total cost of ownership. The facts are stark. Recent research has shown us that firms know that, sorry, say that again. The facts are stark. Firms know that security awareness training is a critical part of their response to the threats they face. But recent research highlighted that only 26% of small firms and 39% of medium-sized firms carried out any sort of security awareness training over the last 12 months. In addition to that, the pressure is growing. Sorry, Stephen.
It's an incredible statistic to think that only 26 of small firms and 39% of medium-sized are doing this.
It is. It absolutely is, and it's something that for small and medium-sized firms that, you know, I'm talking to these guys day in, day out, as you are, Stephen, and we do see a changing shift in their understanding, and that's driven by the fact that many of them are being attacked and are suffering at the hands of the cyber criminals. The other thing, though, is the influence increasingly being played by the cyber insurance market, who are laying down more rules in terms of exactly how their cyber insured should be managing security awareness training, but also from industry regulators and the supply chain, where some of the bigger organizations are being far more stringent in laying down the law in terms of what an effective security awareness solution should be, and in as part of a whole range of security controls that they are now expecting that their smaller suppliers should be delivering.
Totally agree. The cyber insurance companies, like, we are partnered with several, and they are telling us that they will not be underwriting customers that do not do security awareness training, and that tick the box once a year, that will not cut it anymore. The third-party risk assessment, massively important in the supply chain, and big companies won't work with small companies unless they're demonstrating good security hygiene, which encompasses an effective awareness program. And I guess it is worth calling out that those small and medium enterprises that say they're working with an MSP and think that that's going to placate, well, that's where the pressure then comes back to the MSP to demonstrate that they're delivering security awareness training, and not just once a year as well. And you know, that brings us back full circle to the MSP in terms of those problems that, you know, they want it to be low admin, light touch, ease of administration, but again is effective and pretty much is automated where possible. So yeah, it's great to see that feedback being shared back to us, and obviously we've been listening that to our MSP security advisory team as well.
Yeah, totally agree, Stephen. And you know, one of the key things around security awareness training, in order for us to build the muscle memory across our workforce, that understanding, that know-how that they need to make sure that they're protecting their organization's information safely, is making campaigns regular. It's short and often, and that's the critical thing that we've learned over the last few years. Rather than sending a lot of information just once a year, it just does not work.
So it's a big box exercise.
Okay. So in terms of what you've been saying, next slide, please, Truva. This is very much about providing you with a platform that allows you to do much, much more, but with less sort of time and effort. And the key, again, based on all the discussions we've had with you, the key elements for your platform were seen to be ease of use, automating a whole range of new processes, and providing you with flexibility in delivering different solutions for different clients, but with minimal admin, as Stephen said, light touch. And in terms of specific features for that, what does that actually mean? The three key areas that we want to demonstrate to you today is around the ability to have centralized administration, which is all around client management and onboarding. Automation, as I've just mentioned, that's automation of phishing simulations and training campaigns, as well as the comprehensive human risk analysis and reports that we have. And finally, minimizing the technical configuration of the platform, making it very quick and easy for you to provision portals and delivering emails without trust lists. So without further ado, I'll hand you over to Stephen, who will take you through the critical elements that we've just outlined.
Thanks a million, Nick. So just whilst we transfer control back to my screen there, I suppose one of the key items for me is, when we listen to our MSPs in the MSP advisory, and obviously when we're talking to MSPs through direct conversations that we're having, they tend to fall into two buckets. One are the MSPs that are not doing anything in this space. They know they need to be doing something because their customers are constantly asking them, and they're looking as to a product that will actually really help them do that with very low admin and automation, as you've just described. The other group are those that actually have an existing platform or offering it as a service, but it's costing them too much money to deliver it. And too many man hours are being spent on setting up campaigns, scheduling training campaigns, having to log into individual portals, having to do trust lists in order for phishing emails to be received. That's on a client by client basis. It's just not easy, and it's costing money, and they're looking for solutions to this. And this is why we're so excited to show the SafeTitan MSP Dashboard, which offers the centralized administration. It offers the centralized mass phishing campaigns to be sent out and centralized training campaigns to be sent out, all done from the master portal, the parent portal for the MSP. It's all multi-tenancy. It's all hosted in Microsoft Azure. We're globally deployed around the world in every Azure data center. So from the data domicility perspective, we're able to cater for that. We have single sign-on with Azure AD or on-prem AD, for example. We have direct email ingestion using the Microsoft Security Graph API, which comes back to that ease of configuration and ease of setup. You don't need to do trust lists of our IP addresses for emails to be received into inboxes. Use the Graph API and emails will be received straight away into inboxes. That's configured within the configuration in the parent portal, where you basically utilize the Microsoft Graph API for phishing. You set up the tenant ID and you put in the various bits of information that are needed here. Once that's done and you synchronize with Azure AD, you have all your users and groups per client, and then you're able to send out your phishing campaigns. And that is all done centrally through the MSP portal. So what's in here? You can see on this dashboard, you've got customer administration, customer groups, which is how you can group your customers. You may want to group your customers by sector. So banking, financial services, or pharma, or retail, or maybe a composite of groups, right? It really depends on how one wants to target those groups. You have your phishing campaigns, training campaigns, and then all of the reports that have been configured. Down below, you can see the list of customers that have been registered. So this is the multi-tenancy now coming into it. And this is obviously a demo portal. It's fictitious names and whatnot, but it's just showcasing what you will see at a high level. When you come to managing your customers, as and when you want to add a new customer, you do it simply here by clicking on new customer. So we'll do Acme demo. Here we'll do the admin email address. Now, this email address is the email that you may want to use for the administrator of the client portal. So a client may want to log into their own portal and run their own campaigns, where some MSPs will do everything from scratch, right? So you're catering for both eventualities here. This email address, as I say, will receive a welcome email. It'll have a link to access the portal. But you as an MSP do not need to use that. You're able to access each client portal if needs be through the impersonation, and I'll show that in a second. But one of the questions you're probably going to ask me is, do I need to be logging into each individual client portal? The answer is no. You run everything from here. You run it across your groups of customers or your individual customers, your phishing and your training campaigns, all from in here. All right. The sector, why is this important? I said banking earlier on. The system is going to be intelligent over time, constantly learning as to what is content relevant for the banking sector, what is content relevant for pharma or legal or retail or utilities, for example. Phishing lures, training, the system will be intelligent to know what to send. Country, what is the country that the client is in? So we'll go with Ireland. Europe, where do I want the data to be held? If it's Europe, perfect. And from a GDPR perspective, if it's the US or Australia, UAE, South Africa, Singapore, you can see we're across the whole world. I'll just go with Europe because we've an Irish client, and the maximum number of seats that are going to be in this client. I quickly just click there, and then the portal will be there behind the scenes. If I want to impersonate and log into that portal, as I said earlier on, I simply click on this square button, and it will enable me to log in to that client portal if need be. Okay, now see, I'm in there straight away. Close that out, and I'm back to managing my customers. I then can group my customers. So I can create a new group, and I'll call it MSP Demo 3. Testing demo. And here I can now choose Acme Limited, BCD, XYZ. And I now have a group that I can target trainings or phishings to. And I can make edits to this as and when I want to going forward. So then we come back to phishing. So phishing campaigns, as I said, I've showed you the Microsoft Graph API. You do not need to be doing trust listing anymore for emails to be received. We've got many MSPs already using it since we launched this product, and they are like happy days. This is exactly what we wanted. Ease of administration, ease of setup, not having to do trial and error testing and seeing everything failing and being quarantined and spammed. This gets over that. To run a phishing campaign, and the same will apply to a training campaign, you, from a phishing perspective, you choose the templates that you want to send to the users across those customers or groups of customers. The filter templates, you can choose the different types that we offer: home and personal, business, C-suite, and attachments. Filters such as maybe banking, payments, business email compromise, ransomware, pandemic, you know, the list goes on. We have our own threat intelligence team that are constantly creating our own lures. We're seeing what's active out there. This is the beautiful thing of TitanHQ. We've got Spam Titan, Fish Titan, Web Titan, and other products. We see what's happening. We are out there preventing, for the most part, these threats from being received by clients. But, you know, like any technology, we're never going to block everything, but we can get insight to what's out there. And as a consequence, our threat intelligence team can then create those lures that our MSPs and our clients can use within their phishing campaigns based on the latest threats. That happens on a daily basis, by the way. So now that I have my list of lures that I potentially want to look at, if I say, actually, do you know what, I'd love to run an Adobe campaign. Okay, I'll just choose that type of lure. Select next. I want to have an attachment in the phishing campaign. I can rename that attachment. So MSP bonus. What type of attachment? I'll go with a Word document. Phishing form. So this is a fake login page. So this is where you may want to test if there's credentials and if people would give away their credentials onto a fake login page. Note, we do not record what people type. We only record that they've interacted and engaged with that and give you that in the reports. Microsoft sign-in page in English. We offer multiple languages as well. That's what it's going to look like if someone clicks on a link in an email. Happy days, I'm happy with that. Close out of that. And then the trigger. So if somebody does type into that field, or they click enter, for example, or even if they just put the cursor into that field, you can use that as a trigger to trigger a feedback message. That feedback is an instant learning moment where, you know, you could explain what to watch out for in that phishing email. You could explain ransomware. You could explain invoice fraud, for example. This is your moment to get a message across there. Don't take the bait, for example. Quick look what that looks like. Don't take the bait. Again, we're highlighting areas of an email, what to search. If you're an MSP and you want to give your own guidance and your own branded guidance, you can create these feedback messages back in the portal that underpins the MSP dashboard. And in the phishing manager itself, this is where you can be creating the templates and the feedback messages. So whatever you create as an MSP in your MSP portal, that will then be used in the campaigns that you send to all your customers. All right, so you manage it centrally, and then you can use it hierarchically to send to all of your customers or groups of customers as you see fit. Okay, so that's the link, the underlying portal for the MSP, and then that gets pulled in through the campaigns manager that you're creating here. And you select the recipients, and you can now see I'm now pulling in my customers. So let's say I want to just go with Acme, and then I've got a customer group, and I say, actually, I want Acme, but I also want to bring in my demo group 3. I click confirm. One thing to point out is, let's say you had an individual customer which is also part of the group. They will only receive 1 email. The system is intelligent enough to only send 1 email. It won't send 2 or 3, purely because of who you're targeting. And then it's a question, when do I want to publish this? I'll choose today. When do I want it to complete? Again, I challenge everyone, there's no real need to end campaigns very quickly. Let them go out for a few months. The point of which is, when you run a report, that's when you see the statistics. Someone could open this email in 4 months' time. You want that in your statistics. No point in me ending this campaign. Okay, it's when you run the report, it's the statistics at that point in time will show what people have been doing with that email. I can change how this email looks like. So MSP, no reply. I can have different domains. Again, these are all domains that we own. If an MSP or a client that you're managing have domains that you wish to use impersonation of the CEO, so CEO fraud or business email compromise, all that needs to happen is you change the SPF records for those domains, and then we can send the email on behalf of that domain, which means you can create realistic scenarios of the CEO sending an email about wiring money, for example, or doing other things around invoice fraud or changing bank details on behalf of a supplier, for example. So you can recreate any scenario, highly customizable phishing tests on our platform. And then we're simply ready to go. So that's going to create a campaign, and it's going to cross all of those customers and groups that we've decided to go with. And then when we go to training campaigns, exactly the same. We choose content. We have a library of over 4 years and growing worth of content across every security best practice topic that you would ever want to give your staff, whether that be the C-suite executives, whether that be the technical developers, privileged access accounts, whether that be general populations of staff across all departments. We have the content that you can send out to those folks. We have our own instructional design team who are creating our own courses and videos. We're constantly doing this every week of every month. That's our job, create content. Whether it be to refresh existing content or add new content, that's what our job is. Now, one thing to note, if an MSP or a client wants to upload their own training content to supplement what we're providing, you can do that too. And you can use that through our upload facility. That could include your policies, your courses, your videos, your PowerPoints, your PDF, your infographics, whatever you want to reuse. Not just on cybersecurity, by the way. So you could bring in anti-money laundering, anti-bribery, workplace health and safety, whatever it is. It's an LMS, it's a content platform at the end of the day. The van is on the road, put the content into the back of it. So
Stephen,
Stephen,
it might be worth adding as well that the range of content that we have available, wide breadth of content, but it also covers risks that individuals face at home as well. So it's not just risks that we face in the workplace, in the physical office. It's on the move. It's at home as well. Obviously, with what's happened with the new run to the new hybrid working environment, that's really important. And that's not just risks, work-related risks at home, but also helping you educate your staff about looking after their own information or their family's information more effectively as well. And good, strong behaviours at home typically are brought back into the workplace.
No, it's a great point, and it's why my wife calls me a propeller head. So it's a term of endearment from my wife, but God love my wife. The content we've created, I've had to send it to Diane to get feedback as to, did she understand it? Was it helpful? And thankfully, she's often loved it, and she's had some input as to maybe changing certain things that would be more easy to understand. But the feedback I've often loved from Diane has been, can I share this with my family? That's what we want when we're running security awareness training. It's spreading that word, creating a network of human sensors, if you will. It's a great point, and it's so valuable because it means it's stickier. And our whole ethos in creating content, as you said, Nick, it's not just for the workplace, it's for practical tips and guidance that people can use at home, talk to their kids, password managers, multi-factor authentication, not having the same password across multiple accounts, for example, how to check websites, how to unshorten shortened URLs. You know, it's people in IT that don't even know that, but you know, it's incredibly powerful. You know, we tell people to hover mouses over links, yet they see bit.ly and they're like, yeah, that looks okay to me. I've done what people told me to do, and they click on it because they don't know how to unshorten it. But you can unshorten it, and that's the thing. Fix my camera there. I'm banging the table. I'm getting on my soapbox here. So having selected the training topic, you then get offered content, whether it be videos or courses. I'll just choose this course, password protection. And then it's a question of, well, what options do I want to give? Is it mandatory? Is it a test campaign? Obviously, if we're sending it to our customers, it's not necessarily a test. You know, do I want to require an acknowledgement? So you can request an acknowledgement by staff that they have taken this course. If it's a policy, you definitely want to acknowledge, you want the user to acknowledge that they've read the policy, for example. So you can track staff acknowledgements of policies here. Give a certificate upon completing, for example. Allow feedback, get feedback from the users. Okay, so you can customize this. And then the details, again, you can have wrapper messages, which might be a message from the CEO saying how important security awareness is. It could be from the MSP saying as part of our security services, security awareness training is front and center. And you know, it's not just a technical problem. It's a human cyber risk at the end of the day, and we're here to help people so that they can help us defend the corporate network. People buy into that. Publish start date, when they want to publish it. Again, I'll just choose a date. When they want to complete it, let's give it 2 months. It's been proven that if you give people enough time to complete training, they will do it on their own time. If you keep chasing and harassing to get it done, it has a negative reaction. It goes against what we're really trying to achieve here, which is to bring people on a journey, raise awareness, help people, be like a cyber guardian angel, if you will, that give them enough time. They're busy doing their day job, but they will do it. The system will send out automatic reminders to those people. So the system will do it. You don't need to be chasing. So again, no admin overhead here. The system will do it for you. If you want to send an assignment email, so people get the email, you've been assigned training, click on the link and they take the training. Okay, and then who do I want to send training to? You guessed it, customers or customer groups. Okay, I'll choose 2 groups this time. I create the training. So now I've got a mass training campaign. I could sit here and create my entire year or the next 2 years, and the system will just go off and do it. And as you add new customers, if you add them into new groups, they'll get exactly what's already been configured here. All right. So a system that's looking after everything, set and forget. And then from a reporting perspective, you can have automatic reports or you can schedule reports. An automatic report would be if you want to send a training campaign report, which will automatically be produced off the back of training being completed. Again, you select which customers you want to send this to or have the report based on, right? So I'll just choose Acme here. And then who do I want to send it to? Again, you get all the users brought in here. So it could be an administrator of a client, or it could be, to yourself. PDF or CSV, I click submit, and that's been added. Now from a scheduled report, when you create a scheduled report, it can be a customer campaign, so all the campaigns by customer, or it can be an MSP campaign report, which is across all customers and all campaigns. And an example of what that report looks like is that you get to see all the lists of clients, all trainings that have been delivered, the percentage of training that's been completed or not, as the case may be. You get to see your phishing test results, again, how many phishing emails have been sent and what's the click-through rate. But you get to see an overview as well here, as well as going into each individual customer. So you get this. This is automatically going to be produced on a schedule so you can sit down with your customers and show them the effectiveness of the service you are providing to those folks. The last thing I wanted to show you is that we offer a Fishhook plugin, which is Central Web Manifest. It's a plugin that sits in the email ribbon for staff to report phishing emails. That can go back to the MSP, or you can have it come into our Swordfish product, which is the orchestration, automation, and remediation of reported phishing emails. This is incredibly powerful. An email that gets automatically analyzed, having been reported by a user. We then tell you whether it's true or false positive. And then we expose the Microsoft compliance searches across Office 365 so that you can find all copies of that email so that you can inoculate the issue. You can quarantine or delete those emails. We all know there's two important KPIs in security: mean time to detect and mean time to respond. The faster we detect, the faster we can respond. Swordfish really rapidly enables you to respond super quickly off the back of the detection, which is based on the users. And that is the power of an effective security awareness program. We're raising awareness, we're empowering users to report phishing emails, and then we're closing the loop by inoculating the threat that exists. Thank you so much. I'm absolutely delighted to have been able to show you the SafeTitan MSP dashboard. I'll hand you back to Nick, who will take it from there.
Many thanks, Stephen. Fascinating, and hopefully everyone will see that we've delivered on many or all of the things that we've learned from you guys over the last few months, as summarized here. So centralized client management portal, really, zero friction client onboarding, which is helped by this direct mail injection, so no more trust list required. And then the power of automation, automating mass training and phishing campaigns, and automating scheduled reports. So we've delivered all of that. So we're really excited for you guys to start using the MSP platform. Before we just close, Stephen, there are a few questions that have come in. So if I can quickly ask you these. First one is, do you offer flexible billing options?
Yeah, absolutely. This is something we've heard a lot of frustration in the market that other providers are not MSP friendly. So we don't have any minimum requirements, first off. Secondly, we offer monthly billing. And our pricing, we offer really attractive MSP discounts. We offer bundles across all the Titan products as well. If you're an existing Titan customer, you can avail of the bundle pricing. But if it's SafeTitan only, we offer attractive MSP discounts, and it's priced on a per user basis. But we can do monthly billing if needs be. They are annual contracts, but it is monthly billing.
Sure. Okay, thanks for that. Next question is, how do you ensure your training and phishing simulations stay up to date with the latest techniques being used by the cyber criminals?
Yep, sure. I did allude to that on my demo. So we have our own threat intelligence team and our own instructional design team. The instructional designers create content. That's what they're doing off the back of latest threats, whether it be new regulatory data protection guidance. So CCPA, for example, Californian State Protection. We've just added our Californian updated data protection course, for example. GDPR, UK data protection changing because of UK coming out of Europe. We've added South African POPI Act, Kenyan data protection, for example. So we're constantly doing that. When it comes to phishing threats or training courses content as well, based on the latest threats that our threat intelligence team are seeing, we create new lures, for example. We may make edits to existing courses. So password, that has changed in recent years. We all know the guidance of 8 characters, special characters, uppercase, lowercase, numbers. That's changed. Passphrases, for example, less need to change as often. So we're having to, listen to that and make changes to the content, but also the phishing lures. I did mention we're blocking, and we see a lot of lures out there with our other products. That gives us an unfair advantage to ensure that we're adding the latest lures.
All right, thanks for that. Third question, can we enroll users in a schedule of group training?
Absolutely. Yeah, we touched on that. So you can target customers or groups of customers. So as you add a customer, it's going to have all the users in there. And doing the mass campaigns, it's at the customer level or at groups of customers. If you wanted to do an individual campaign just within one customer to specific users, well, then that's when you could impersonate and log into that client portal and run a phishing campaign against those individual users. So you don't need any extra logins. You just do it from the central console. You impersonate using that square button that I showed you. You log into the client portal, and then you can do that.
And you can make that industry specific as well, can't you?
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. And the final question, how does the scheduled reporting work, and can we get an oversight of our customers And then a subsidiary one, do our customers also receive the reports as well?
Yeah, I can see the sun coming in here. Who knew the sun actually shone in Ireland? But there we go. So in terms of reporting, I did show an example of a report there. So you get the hierarchical view of, on an aggregate basis, of all customers, what they're doing phishing and training wise. You can do that by customer or across all your individual customers. If you want to sit down and have a quarterly review, for example, you can pull out a report just for that customer and have it ready. You can even have the system automatically email the customer if you want. So say you even happen to do anything. So there's multiple options to do that.
Very good. Many thanks, Stephen. Thanks for the demo. That was very useful. So everyone, I'm just going to wrap up now. I think you've seen just how exciting this can be, transformational this can be for you in targeting customers with our security awareness training, our SafeTitan product, and allowing you via the platform to manage that very easily, very quickly and simply. So please do just book a demo or contact us to find out more. We'd be very happy to talk to you. We're really keen to get you up and running as quickly as possible using the new platform. So that's it from us, for Stephen and I. Hope you've enjoyed it, and we look forward to talking to you again in the near future. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for your time.
Thank you for attending this TitanHQ webinar. If you would like to book a demo, head over to TitanHQ.com and we can book a demo time that suits you, and you can see how SafeTitan can work for your MSP business. Thank you again, and we hope to see you in the next one.